Welcome to Astronomy Daily, your regular dose of the latest and greatest in space and astronomy news. I'm your host, Anna, and I'm thrilled you could join me today for an episode packed with fascinating stories from across the cosmos and beyond. We have a lot to cover, starting with Blue Origin's ambitious plans for Mars and the Moon, including an update on their New Glenn rocket and the Blue Moon lander. Then, we'll dive into a perplexing discovery from the icy asteroid Ryugu that has scientists scratching their heads. We'll also journey billions of light years away to explore a truly ancient galaxy, a cosmic fossil that's been frozen in time, offering us a rare glimpse into the early universe. Closer to home, we'll take a dazzling peek inside a blue nebula where new planets are forming around not one, but 3 suns. And of course, we'll round up all the significant space launches that are keeping our orbits busy before looking at how NASA is bringing the wonders of space even closer to your living room. So buckle up because it's going to be an exciting ride. Blue Origin is making steady progress towards the second launch of its New Glenn rocket, a significant step that could occur sometime this fall. The company has already completed the crucial second stage ignition test in April, and the first stage is now in its final preparation at Cape Canaveral, Florida. While the initial target of August 15th is off the table, sources suggest a mid to late September launch is realistic, with others leaning towards late October or November. Blue Origin has remained quiet about the payload for this flight, but multiple reports indicate it will carry NASA's escapade mission. This mission involves a pair of small spacecraft heading to Mars to study the red planet's magnetosphere. Escapade was originally meant for New Glenn's first flight last October, but was removed due to launch date uncertainty and the spacecraft's propellant shelf life. Missing that 2024 Mars launch window means these spacecraft, once launched this fall, won't reach Mars until late 2027. Looking ahead, Blue Origin has several exciting missions planned for New Glenn. The fourth flight in the first half of 2026 is slated to carry the Blue Moon Mk-1 lander. The fifth in mid-2026 will deploy the first batch of 49 Amazon Project Kuiper satellites. Blue Origin's strategy is to launch new rockets as soon as they're ready, to gather performance data, practice first-stage reuse, and achieve a rapid launch cadence. They even have an inspirational Cube for the Future mission ready as a backup or rideshare if a customer payload isn't ready. Among these, the Blue Moon Mk-1 lander is generating significant buzz. It's a key part of Blue Origin's plan for a large, reusable lander capable of taking humans to the moon. Recent videos showed the Mk-1's midsection arriving at their assembly facilities. At 8 meters, or 26.4 feet tall, it's designed to be the tallest vehicle ever to land on the moon, a meter taller than the Apollo lunar module. The Mk-1 is a cargo version, capable of carrying about 3 metric tons to the lunar surface, roughly 10 times the capacity of current commercial landers, and a precursor to the human-rated Mk-2. Interestingly, industry officials now believe Blue Origin has a realistic chance to beat SpaceX in landing a vehicle on the lunar surface. SpaceX has faced development struggles with its Starship, with recent upper stage losses. Blue Origin's Mk-2 lander, while ambitious, is considered less technically challenging. Furthermore, sources suggest Blue Origin founder Jeff Bezos is more committed to a lunar program than SpaceX's Elon Musk, potentially giving him an edge in this lunar race. From the ambitious future of lunar landings, let's now shift our focus to a tiny, perplexing discovery from the icy depths of asteroid Ryugu, a find that is truly baffling scientists. Researchers at Hiroshima University have uncovered a mineral called Jerfischerite within a pristine grain from Ryugu, an asteroid belonging to the carbon-rich C-type family. What makes this so surprising is that Jerfischerite typically forms in scorching, oxygen-poor environments, conditions completely contrary to what we believed about Ryugu, which is thought to be an icy, water-soaked time capsule from the early solar system. This unexpected discovery, detailed in the journal Meteoritics and Planetary Science, is like finding a tropical seed buried deep in Arctic ice. Ryugu's samples, brought to Earth by Japan's Hayabusa 2 probe in December 2020, have been turning planetary science on its head. The presence of Jerfischerite suggests 2 main possibilities. Either the asteroid endured unexpected heat spikes, or it somehow captured exotic material that traveled across the early solar system. This finding challenges the long-held idea that Ryugu is compositionally uniform and instead points to a far more chaotic mixing of planetary building blocks during the solar system's formation. Ryugu is believed to have originated from a larger parent body that formed in the outer regions of the solar system, where water and carbon dioxide existed as ice. Temperatures within this parent body were estimated to have remained below about 50 degrees Celsius. In stark contrast, Jerfischerite is known to form in much hotter conditions, sometimes exceeding 350 degrees Celsius, often found in meteorites that formed closer to the sun. Scientists are now considering whether this mineral arrived from another source during Ryugu's formation, or if Ryugu itself experienced localized heating events that allowed Jerfischerite to form intrinsically. Preliminary evidence leans towards the intrinsic formation hypothesis, but more research is needed. The next steps involve conducting isotopic studies of this and other Ryugu grains to determine their true origins. Ultimately, the goal is to reconstruct the early mixing processes and thermal histories that shaped small bodies like Ryugu, thus improving our understanding of how planets formed and how materials were transported in the early solar system. It's a tiny mineral, but a huge mystery for planetary scientists. From the small wonders of asteroids, we now journey to the colossal structures of the universe, where astronomers have made a truly remarkable discovery, a galaxy that has remained frozen in time for billions of years. Imagine a cosmic fossil, much like the dinosaur fossils we find here on Earth. But instead of ancient life, it's a galaxy that has preserved the conditions of the early universe. This incredible find is the galaxy Kids J08420059, located a staggering 3 billion light-years away. What makes it a cosmic fossil is its unique ability to have remained virtually unchanged by collisions and interactions with other galaxies, acting as a pristine time capsule. Recent research, utilizing data from the Large Binocular Telescope, has confirmed that this galaxy has been perfectly preserved for approximately 7 billion years. As Crescenzo Tortora, a team co-leader and researcher at the National Institute of Astrophysics, put it, discovering this galaxy is like an archaeological find that helps us understand how the first galaxies were born and how the universe has evolved. These fossil galaxies are truly like the dinosaurs of the universe, offering clues about the environmental conditions in which they formed and how today's most massive galaxies came to be. Kids J08420059 was initially discovered in 2018 by the Kilo Degree Survey, or KIDS. Subsequent observations with instruments like the Very Large Telescope and its X-Shooter instrument helped astronomers measure its size and mass. It was found to have a stellar mass about 100 billion times that of our Sun, yet it's more compact than other galaxies of similar mass and has notably lacked star formation for much of its life. All these characteristics pointed towards it being a fossil galaxy. To confirm its unique nature, the team used the adaptive optic system of the Large Binocular Telescope, obtaining images with 10 times the detail previously available. This confirmed its compact structure, similar to other rare stunted galactic fossils like NGC 1277, which is much closer to us. The existence of galaxies like Kids J08420059 indicates that some galaxies can form rapidly, stay compact, and remain dormant for eons by simply avoiding collisions. Studying these cosmic fossils is crucial for reconstructing the formation history of the nuclei of today's massive galaxies, which, unlike these relics, have undergone numerous merger processes. Future research with cutting-edge technologies and telescopes, such as the Euclid Space Telescope, promises to further unlock the secrets these ancient galaxies hold. From the ancient past of galaxies, we now turn our gaze to the vibrant present of star and planet formation, as the Hubble Space Telescope has delivered another breathtaking image. This time, it's a dazzling peek inside a blue nebula, revealing what astronomers are calling a hidden planet factory. The image showcases a stunning cosmic cloud known as GN04.32.8, a type of reflection nebula. Unlike nebulae that emit their own light, reflection nebulae glow by scattering light from nearby stars, often giving them that characteristic soft, bluish hue, which is certainly the case here. This glowing cloud is nestled within the Taurus molecular cloud, a rich star-forming region located approximately 480 light-years from Earth in the constellation Taurus. It's one of the closest and most ideal places for observing newborn stars in action. The soft glow of GN04.32.8 comes from a trio of young stars at its heart. These include the variable star V1025 Tauri at the very center of the image, along with HP Tau G2, and HP Tau G3. HP Tau itself belongs to a special class known as T Tauri stars, which are energetic and restless stars in the earliest stages of their lives, perfectly at home in this stellar nursery. Astronomers believe these three stars form a gravitationally bound triple system, making this region even more compelling for study. But perhaps the most exciting detail for planet hunters is a small, squashed orange spot just to the left of the center, below the main cloud, crossed by a dark line. This is a newly formed protostar, veiled within a protoplanetary disk that obstructs some of its light. Because this disk is seen edge-on from our perspective, it presents an ideal opportunity for astronomers to examine it closely. They're using Hubble's keen eye to seek out clues about the kinds of exoplanets that might be formed within disks, just like this one. Moving from the ancient past of galaxies to the dynamic present here on Earth, this week promises to be an incredibly busy one for space launches. As July begins, the Global Launch Manifest is absolutely jam-packed with exciting missions. Kicking things off, SpaceX is set for a doubleheader with 2 Falcon 9 launches from Florida. The first is a Starlink mission, scheduled for no earlier than Tuesday, July 1st, at 2:06 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, from Space Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral. This rocket will fly on a northeast trajectory, carrying a batch of 27 Starlink V2 mini satellites for internet connectivity. The first stage booster will attempt a landing on one of SpaceX's East Coast drone ships in the Atlantic. This mission marks a significant milestone, as it will be the 82nd flight of a Falcon 9 in 2025, and the staggering 500th mission for the rocket since its debut back in June 2010. SpaceX is ambitiously aiming for up to 170 Falcon launches before the year is out. Just hours later, the second SpaceX launch could happen. Liftoff of the MTG-S1 mission is scheduled for no earlier than Tuesday, July 1st, at 5:03 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, this time from the historic launch complex 39A at Kennedy Space Center. The payload for this mission is the Meteosat Third Generation Sounder 1, or MTG-S1, a crucial weather satellite to be operated by the European Space Agency and EUMETSAT. Weighing in at 3,800 kilograms, MTG-S1 is equipped with an infrared sounder, Europe's first in geostationary orbit, and a UVN spectrometer. These instruments will provide improved weather forecasting data for Europe and Northern Africa, and importantly, monitor air quality by detecting trace gas concentrations and aerosols, supplying hourly air pollution information. This will be the 83rd Falcon 9 launch of the year. Beyond SpaceX, we have a truly momentous occasion for Australia: the debut flight of its first homegrown launch vehicle, Gilmour Space's Eris rocket. This highly anticipated maiden flight is set to take place no earlier than Thursday, July 3rd, at 7:30 a.m., Australian Eastern Standard Time, from the Bowen Orbital Spaceport at Abbott Point. After years of development, the 3-stage Eris rocket, which uses a fascinating hybrid propellant system for its first 2 stages, will attempt to reach low Earth orbit. A successful launch would mark the first for an Australian-built rocket and the first for a hybrid-fueled rocket. Fun fact: while not carrying an operational payload, Gilmour Space has humorously placed a container of Vegemite flavor spread inside the payload fairing. Also on Thursday, July 3rd, China's only scheduled launch of the week will see a Changzheng 4B, or CZ-4B, rocket take flight at 9:35 a.m. UTC from the Xichang Satellite Launch Center. This 3-stage launcher has a long and successful history, having flown 53 times with 52 successes over its 26-year tenure, primarily launching remote sensing satellites. Rounding out the week's launches, the Russian space agency Roscosmos is looking to resupply the International Space Station with a Progress cargo mission. Liftoff from Site 31-6 at the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan is scheduled for Thursday, July 3rd at 3:32 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. The Progress MS-31 spacecraft will deliver approximately 2,500 kilograms of food, water, and equipment for the crew aboard the station, with docking expected on Saturday, July 5th. This will mark the 184th flight of a Progress cargo spacecraft and the 6th launch of a Soyuz rocket in 2025. What a week for space enthusiasts. Finally, in exciting news for space enthusiasts everywhere, NASA has announced its latest venture to bring space closer to home by teaming up with a major streaming service. Starting this northern summer, NASA Plus live programming will be available on Netflix. This partnership means that audiences will have another fantastic option to stream live rocket launches, awe-inspiring astronaut spacewalks, comprehensive mission coverage, and breathtaking live views of Earth directly from the International Space Station. Rebecca Sermons, General Manager of NASA Plus, highlighted the agency's commitment, stating that the National Aeronautics and Space Act of 1958 calls on them to share their story of space exploration with the broadest possible audience. This collaboration aims for a golden age of innovation and exploration, inspiring new generations right from the comfort of their couch or the palm of their hand. Through this strategic partnership, NASA's groundbreaking work in science and exploration will become even more accessible, allowing the agency to significantly increase engagement and inspire a global audience within the modern media landscape. With Netflix reaching over 700 million people worldwide, this move aligns perfectly with NASA's broader efforts to connect with as many people as possible through various platforms, including video, audio, social media, and live events. The ultimate goal is simple: to bring the excitement of the agency's discoveries, inventions, and space exploration to people, wherever they are. It's also worth noting that NASA Plus itself will continue to be available for free, with no ads, through the official NASA app and on the agency's website. More programming details and schedules are expected to be announced closer to the launch date. And that brings us to the end of another fascinating episode of Astronomy Daily. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed exploring the latest in space and astronomy news, from Mars missions and puzzling asteroid discoveries to ancient galaxies and the cutting edge of launch technology. Before we sign off, remember, you can always catch up on all the latest space and astronomy news with our constantly updating newsfeed, and listen to all our back episodes by visiting our website at astronomydaily.io. That's astronomydaily.io. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to Astronomy Daily on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. It's been a pleasure being your host, Anna, and I look forward to sharing more cosmic wonders with you tomorrow. Until then, keep looking up.